Hi, I'm Robert Begley with day 100 of my video challenge. Have you ever had anything stolen from you that really made you angry? In the past, I've had small things. I was in high school, some kid stole my bus pass, which made me become a runner. I used to run 2 miles to and from school because I didn't have a bus pass. So I made a lemonade out of that lemon. But recently, I had my bike stolen. That was a first. Carrie-Ann and I both bought bikes several months ago, and she had a Gorilla lock, and I had a lock that was one of those bendable ones, but it worked as a lock. One day we came downstairs for our post-dinner walk, and I would always park the bike in the rack right in front of the building where there's a camera. I'm like, whoa, I think my bike got stolen. There was this cruddy bike in the same exact slot. So I reported it to the building. The video camera was the one blind spot where they couldn't see it. I had to report it to the cops. But guess what? This bike wasn't that good. I bought it at Walmart. It was the second one I bought at Walmart because the brakes in the first one never really functioned. So I ordered a replacement. Those second one, I never felt comfortable with the brakes. So I thought, you could have it. I went 2 weeks just driving the car to and from yoga class. And then one day I rode Carrie-Ann's bike, which we had bought at Walmart, but off the rack. And because it didn't fit in the car, I literally rode it home, about 4 miles to get home. Sure enough, I felt the brakes, I felt the bike, and I was like, man, I like this. I'm going to buy the same one at Walmart. And I did that about a month ago. And I just love this bicycle. But I also bought not a Gorilla lock, a King Kong lock. And I learned that thieves are not just in New York City. They're also here in Orlando. So it was a good lesson for me to say criminals exist everywhere. I can't let my guard down. The most important lesson, all of these were learned part of the $200 lesson, I called it. But a lot of peace of mind, though, because today, while I was riding twice, cars came out of nowhere quickly, and I had to put the brakes on. And in the past, I would have had to really put the brakes on and hope it stopped in time. Don't have that worry anymore. The biggest lesson, something I learned when I was a teenager, I saw this film, British film called The Red Shoes. It's about a ballerina based on a Hans Christian Andersen story. And early in the film, a student composer has parts of his composition stolen by his teacher. The next morning, he storms into the impresario's office saying, he stole my work. Shrinking it down, the impresario gives an answer that stuck with me to this day. And I repeated it after my bike got stolen. It's better to be stolen from than to have to steal. So in other words, think of the mindset of the person who actually goes there and steals a bike. And I know how they did it. They actually put the crappy bike right next to mine, clipped the lock, and then drove off with it. That's a bad way to live. I would rather just pay $200 and create. It just meant I had to work a little harder for a couple of weeks to make up that $200 and have the peace of mind. But also, I don't have to steal. So therefore, the person who stole the unreliable bike with bad brakes, good for you. I feel better knowing that my guard is no longer down. Criminals exist everywhere. I love my new bike, ride it every day. And it's better to be stolen from than to have to steal. Do you have a stolen story, or does this story make you feel better when somebody ripped you off? We'll see you tomorrow with day 101 of the video challenge.